Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a channel long trade here on crude oil, coming all the way back down to the channel lows here and waiting for a nice little bounce. Now the way that it's setting up is very, very bullish, and if we trigger in here at 31, I'm very interested, right? I'm very interested in that area. We've got our stops and targets out on the table, just kind of waiting to see if it gets filled. There we go. So now we can lock those in. So stop's going to go to 39.13. That's why we're only long 3 contracts, just due to stop size. 39.12 in that area. You're looking at around 18 to 20 ticks or so, 19, yeah. So it's, because of the risk, you don't want to go full huge size on the trade, but you definitely want to take a couple. So we're going in with 3. The target that we're looking for first, simply just the channel highs. Now, one area that, I'm sorry, not the channel highs, the channel midline. Now, that might be right here, right? We might just shoot up all in one candle. It might take a little while and work its way up somewhere over here, right? We don't know that. But looking at other factors and other clues on our charts, if we do shoot up there right now, then we'll just move our target down and take it where we can. Right now, though, there was a small little area here. You'll notice they tried to wick higher right there above that little red candle and smashed right back to the downside again. And that whole area is just kind of an area of support a little bit above it. You can kind of see that as almost a range right through here. So because of that, that little area right there is kind of piquing my interest. The buyers tried and they test the midline, they come up and immediately dump through. Sellers initiated massive positioning there, and I want to make sure that I'm taking my target right around that area. Now, again, if we go shooting right up and hit the midline right now, then I'll just take my target where it is. But right now, 39.61 looks to be about the area that we're looking for. The next target's going to be back up to the highs, right? The high of day is up here at 39.83, so we want to front run that a little bit. 39.80 should be fine there. And, again, given the movement, it is pretty early, but yesterday went bonkers, right? We saw yesterday go absolutely nuts for pretty much all day, right? We had massive ranges yesterday. The S&P had massive ranges, huge volume coming in, and we're kind of seeing the counter to that, right? They're just taking a little bit of profit. They smashed to the downside yesterday. Good chance they're going to take a little bit of profit off the table, and we're seeing that kind of show itself in the form of a nice bull trend working its way up all morning. So we're along 39.31, stops down at 39.12. First target, if we can get that one taken out around the midline again, if it goes up right now, that'd be 24 ticks. But if it goes up and fills at around 61, we're looking at 30 ticks. Secondary target above that. At the high of day at 39.80, that locks in 49 ticks. Now we're taking 2 off at 30, right? So that's 60 and another 49. So it's 109 ticks possible on the trade if we can get this thing going. So again, it is pretty early. There isn't really any news coming out today until later, around 9:30, going on 10 o'clock. So we might be in this one for a little while. So definitely pay attention to that. We might just be sitting here for a while, but looking for that first target. We'll see if we can get the market moving in our direction and get that target filled. All right, buyers stepping back up on the table here. Our target's still at 61. You could go for a little bit more. The channel midline's around 66 or so. So you could even try to get like 63 in that area. But again, with the huge cancellation of the buyers right at 61, I want to make sure to take my profit there when I can. We're coming one tick away from it now. Now, we did lock our stop in a little bit closer here to 19, just given the fact that it did come back a little bit and kind of held that area and then bounced right back up. They started closing back inside of it again. So because of that, I really don't want to see that low taken out, and now we've got that target filled. So what we'll do is we'll drop this down to the 1 contract that's left. We'll pop that into break even. And honestly, right now, the way that this is setting up, given that this gigantic candle is forming right now, you could argue the fact that you might want to just go underneath that candle, right? You don't want to see it come back on you. We have yet to test the midline, and I would wager a guess that once we do test the midline, we're probably going to see some profit taking. And that profit taking might come all the way back down to the channel lows. So I really don't want to play with fire here. I'll leave my stop where it is at +1 for now. If I see continuing price action start pushing through the midline, then we'll lock up where we need to. But given that we don't know what's going to happen yet at the midline and that huge termination that we saw here at 61 before, we might see the same thing where they try to push all the way back down to the channel lows and then bounce up again. So got to play it a little bit safe down here, but we'll give it a little bit of time. Looking for 39.80, definitely taking its time. I mean, again, this is kind of what we were expecting. We got in at 7:20. We're going on 8:20 now. It's been an hour. We did lock in our first target. We got $600 locked in now, so $600 for an hour of quote unquote work. Definitely not bad pay. But looking for that final run up to 39.80 to finish this move off. That might take another hour, right? That might take another 5 hours. We don't know yet. So we'll just kind of let it play. But overall, we're sitting fine. Just need to give it a little bit of time and space and see if we can get that filled at 39.80. All right, we're seeing big buying pressure come on. Definitely want to kind of pay attention to where our stop is right now. We don't want to give anything back now, especially since we're approaching that midline again and we're testing it. I don't want it to turn back around. It's been too long now for this trade. We should be wanting to get that high of day. And actually, the midline migrated down just a little bit with that little test right there. So because of that and how long this has been kind of at play, we really don't want to play around with a move, right? Now, you could argue, well, we waited and kind of weathered that pullback. The safest place would be for your stop right underneath that last low right down here, right? That's the absolute safest place to have your stop. Given the move, right? Given the fact that we did kind of what we were forecasting, right? Came all the way back down, that big selling pressure off 61, pushed it back to the channel lows. The buyers picked it back up, kind of a copy paste of what we saw earlier, right? This move at around 715 and then the retest at 740. Same thing that we saw here, right? 825 bounces up, pulls back, tested again at 840, pushes right back up again. So we're seeing a rinse and repeat, and we definitely don't want to play with fire. We're one tick away now, right? That one tick away, that's kind of where we don't want to give anything back anymore. So one tick away, we're going to lock our stop in at 59. But again, the safest place is right back down here. And there we got it filled, 39.80. So let's cancel that stop. Beautiful move up. It definitely took its sweet time. We're going on 9 o'clock now. It's been almost 2 hours in this trade. Definitely paid well, right? 49 ticks on that final portion there. You could have even argued a reload right inside here, right? Because this was basically a rinse and repeat of the setup before. Do it again, right? Hop on more, add a couple more right there. Definitely don't blame you if you did. Beautiful move right back up again. But we got our fills, 2 off at 30. 1 off at 49. That locks in 109 ticks to the upside over 2 hours. It definitely wasn't a fast move, but $1,090, not going to complain about that. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.